tell you how excited I am. Today is International Women's Day, and I want you to celebrate with me. I want you to celebrate who you are. And I want you to remember who you are, because I know everybody thinks we are celebrating together, but unless you celebrate yourself, your inner greatness, the chances are nobody is going to notice. And today is going to be another day like any other day. And I want each day to be different. I want each day to be the beginning of your journey, the journey into your own mind, into what is possible. And I know some people are asking now, what is she talking about? I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. At the end of this month, we are going to have big celebrations going on. I know I don't meet for coffee, and some people hate me for that, but I don't have time for coffee. We create great experiences. And the experience of the red carpet is always something that you take home with you. It's memorable. And I want you to have that. I want you to come along, join the amazing authors coming from all over the world at the Authors Awards 2017. Yes, I know, you are still talking about the Authors Awards 2016. Imagine now, imagine what is possible. I want you to meet the authors. They are amazing people who got the courage to come out and share what they found inside their own mind. Because you see, when you write the book that you had inside and you knew is there, waiting for you to decide, now I'm going to share my story. That book is not about writing the book. It's nothing to do with writing the book. It's about your relationship with your own mind, with your own inner greatness, with who you are and who you don't know. Some of us, sometimes in our lives, we are total strangers to ourselves. Seems that the whole world knows you, but you don't know who you are. Aren't you curious? Don't you want to know who you truly are? Come along, join us. Learn how to share your story, learn how to write your story, learn how to publish your story, and learn how to make the news. Become your best spokesperson. Don't let other people tell you who you are. No, you tell them. From me and the team of authors who are coming from all over the world and are ready to help you publish, write, share, and make the news. Welcome. Welcome to your own.
Welcome to Radio Works World. I'm Dr. Ava Brown. Wherever you are in the world, I hope it is a great morning, great evening, great afternoon. I'm so delighted to be your host today, and I am here to share my story. So some of you might be wondering, who is this woman? She calls her name Doctor. She's Eagle. She's Ava Brown. Well, let me tell you a bit about who I am. So I was born in Jamaica. So for those of you who don't know Jamaica, let me just say Usain Bolt, right? And that should suddenly make you feel, yes, I know that place. Or if Usain Bolt doesn't strike it for you, how about Bob Marley, that amazing musician? That's the little country from which I originate. And so I was born in Jamaica to a mother who was only 16 years old. Can you imagine that, guys? Can any of you imagine if you have children? A 16-year-old child giving birth? But that was my story. My mother was 16 years old. And when she fell pregnant with me at 15, her mother threw her out on the streets. Now, I have a daughter who's 19, and I cannot even imagine that. But that was my reality. And so fast forward a bit, I was born into a little old post office where my mother met her new then boyfriend, who happens to be my stepfather, who they're still together 41 years later. But life was, as you can imagine how I was born, it was never easy. I was born into poverty and struggle and hardship. And so within the community, there was nothing much happening. And my stepfather lost his job at the rice factory. And I was about 10 years old when that happened. And as the eldest of 9 children, I got up and started, looking for stuff to sell to make a living. And my mother took me to the fields to find mangoes. And it was those mangoes that we washed and dressed. And my mother would put me on the taxi and send me to the nearest town to sell the mangoes on the train. And I would go on the train and I would sell. Just imagine a 10-year-old child selling mangoes on the train. I should be in school, right? And so for those of us who are parents or your imagination is very vivid, just imagine a 10-year-old child not in school, but selling mangoes to survive, just to buy the daily meal. That was my life story. And then fast forward a bit, I was then given to the man who was so-called my father, and he sexually abused me. Yes, I was about 13, 14 years old when he abused me. And I ran away. I couldn't take it. I ran away to my mom, and my mom didn't take me back in. You see, although I love my mom and we have a great relationship at the moment, she believed that life was better because we lived in a one-room shack, all of us, and we would use a sheet to separate it into bedrooms. And that is how my life existed. And so when I ran away there, my mother sent me back to my stepmother's house, and I stayed there. And my father and her broke up. And rather than her becoming a good woman, she then started to prostitute me to men, married men even. And I thought, this was it. I'm not going to stay here anymore. So I ran away this time. And I was adamant I would never, ever return. I'm not going to go back to that place. So I went to my school and I became homeless by living in my school. So when everybody would leave in the evening to go home, I would leave too, pretending that I was going home. But in reality, I was sleeping on the desk in the school. And so when that was happening, an aunt heard about it and she came to my rescue. She took me in her one-room shack, and before long it was too crowded. So she gave me to an uncle. And I was so nervous now about men and how many men have touched me that I was afraid. But let me release your mind. He was the best thing that happened to me. He never raped me. He never abused me. And it was through that uncle that I was able to then go to high school, got some GCSEs. If you notice earlier, I introduced myself as Dr. Ava Brown. I failed maths and English in high school. But I'm such a tolerant, persevering, resilient woman that didn't stop me. And before you know it, I finished high school and went to university, graduated with my maths, with my English, never got math, still don't have math today. And then I got married and had my first daughter. The relationship never lasted. And so fast forward today, I got raped at gunpoint in front of my daughter who was 3. And then I literally had to leave to come to London. And when I came to London, it was such a vicissitude. It was so challenging. But fast forward a few years ago, I was featured in the Financial Times, The Guardian. And I'm fast forwarding my story because my story could take 10 years to tell you. But today I'm standing here on a book called The Mongo Girl that I've just come back from Jamaica with 2 of my Hollywood team, and it's becoming a feature film. And that's been my story. Marina, I hope you enjoy my story, audience. Over to you.
Wow. You know, you need 10 years to share your story. I need 10 years to, you know, just understand how grateful I am for meeting you here, for sharing your story with our listeners. Because you see, you express your gratitude throughout sharing your story. And one thing I never forget myself is that the highest appreciation of life is not the words you are using, but using the words as a weapon to change your circumstances. So tell me, what happened when you were just a young girl and you had that chance to change your circumstances? What
Marina,
happened in your mind?
Really great story. That's a great question, rather. I literally had no role models growing up, but I knew that I wanted something different for myself. And so I went to school. You see, a lot of us don't recognize that education is a wonderful platform out of poverty. So I went to school and I had 2 great teachers, and they could see in me what I couldn't see in myself. And so they kept saying, Ava, I was a very chatterbox. I chat. I was a chatterbox. I still am today. I wanted to become a barrister. And so they harnessed what they saw inside of me that I couldn't see for myself. And it was them that held that bulb, that star, that light. And gradually, Marina, and your viewers and listeners, it was education that changed my life. Education.
Wow. So you see, in my mind, there are a million questions now, so I don't want to jump into all at once as I would, because I'm so excited about you being here and sharing your inner greatness, your stardust with us. So from selling mangoes to make a living, from being born into poverty into reaching the world as we know it, how that feels?
Oh my God, that question is beautiful. I was in Poland last year, October. And for those of us who don't know what I do, I'm a life coach. I am now becoming a producer. I am an author, a speaker. So I go around the world speaking globally. And in the last 3 to 6 months, I've been privileged to share stage with some of the world's biggest names in the personal development space. I was on stage with Nick Wojcik. I don't know if you know him. He's a guy who has no hands, no feet. I share the same stage as Tony Robbins and Les Brown. I've shared stage with Eric Thomas. And I was in Poland speaking in front of 15,000 people. And I stood there, and they had put my childhood pictures on the screen in front of those 15,000 people, and my heart was overwhelmed. And then in November, I was flown to Washington, D.C., where I spoke. I gave a keynote speech, and I shared the stage with Hollywood actress Sherry Lee Roth. And I stood on that stage and said to myself, wow, Ava, from that little girl who sold mangoes and homeless to world stage. It feels amazing knowing, Marina, that I'm helping to show other women and other people possibilities. So for me, it's not about the fame and the fortune that comes with it. It's more knowing that I'm impacting lives. And that for me gives me a really nice feeling, understanding that I'm walking my walk in purpose. That's what feels good to me.
So living your purpose is a way of life. And for our listeners who are thinking, yeah, she's been lucky, I want you to bring some clarity over what it takes to go from where you are in an empty space where you feel is nobody to hear you, is nobody to talk with you even, into the place where you are right now. I mean, most of the time it feels crazy because it's nothing in between. And in my own experience, I feel that growing your own wings is the only way. So what it takes to go from where you were as a little girl from who you are right now. What happened?
You know, Marina, I believe that you have to be your own rescue. And what I mean by that is people have to understand that the world owes you nothing. The moment I realized that the world owed me nothing, I was able to springboard my life into a different format. You see, I had nobody to be a role model to me. And so I was adamant that I wasn't going to be picking marijuana, which is what was normally my community. I wasn't going to be having babies, which was normally my community. I wanted a difference. And so I realized that the world was not going to give me anything. I had to make what I wanted for myself. And so I started literally finding and associating with people, like-minded people who were walking in their purpose, people who are walking in their purpose, who are sharing their story of success and how they were moving their lives around into purposefulness. And once I learned more about those people, I realized that if I hung around successful people, if I hung around people with a different mindset than I did, who came from a different background from I did, then they were going to show me the way. And it was exactly that I did. I started aligning myself with the right people, with the right mindset, who were going in a direction that I wanted to go. And Marina, you know that. You know how that works. When Jim Rohn says, you are a sum total of the 5 people you hang around with, right? And that is what I started doing. I started aligning myself with people who were becoming movers and shakers. And that's what I did.
Wow. You know what? You know what? My next question is something you expect, but I have to, because our listeners are sending me the question, so I have to ask this, even could be boring for you.
No,
So,
it's okay.
what's exciting and happening in your life right
Right
now?
now?
And I have to come back a little bit on this question with my
Yeah.
own thought on those questions, because most of the time when things are happening to you, you tend to think life is not fair. Why is this happening to me? But then everything happens for you. And when you realize that, it's a total different perspective on life, on values, on everything. And you said you align yourself with amazing people, with movers and shakers, but you are one of them already. So aligning yourself who you could become before you become, I think it's a big challenge for most people. But what I believe that inspiration is in short supply. So we have it all. And it's hard to accept that, because that means we have to take responsibility for your own gift, because each one of us got the same gift, the gift of giving. So taking responsibility for that, it's a major breakthrough.
It is.
So coming back to the question of what's happening, I'm thinking maybe you could relate to what's happening right now with what happened to you, but happened for you.
Marina, that is, you put that so beautiful. What happened to you, but what happened for you. Oh my God, you gave me goosebumps. And that's because you are enlightened. You can see that you're awakened. You can see that. So let me say this before I answer that question. I used to complain about why me, Lord, why me? And then I became awakened. And I realized, you see, one of the biggest words I use in my journey is purpose walking. It's because I realize that everything you go through is necessary. And I know that it sounds so cliche. I know that it sounds like, oh my God, Ava, yeah, right. Some people are thinking, yeah, right. Why am I going through this divorce? Why am I going through this hardship? Why am I being raped? Why am I losing my house? There's a lesson for you to learn. You are being prepared for your destiny, your purpose in this earth. And so many of us spend time. I did 3 radio interviews yesterday, 1 in Singapore, 1 in Tennessee, and 1 in Ireland. And I said the same thing, because it's something I truly believe and live by. Everything you go through is for a reason. But the problem, Marina, is so many of us spend time crying when we're in the valley, when we're in that challenge, that we miss what we should learn from it. And if more of us become more aware and cognizant and aligned into our challenges by understanding and recognizing that they are there to teach us and not to drown us, then more of us would start walking purposefully. So where am I today? I can tell you right now that I was sharing it on Facebook Live a while ago. I have an event, for example, coming up in May called Purpose Walk here in London. And I'm so blessed to have a keynote speaker who is a former guest from Oprah Winfrey coming to speak at my event. But I'm so blessed to have shared stage with some of the biggest names in the industry. And if that is not all, I have a movie that's been a feature film about my own life that's coming up. But that's not all. I get to live on my own terms. I'm a coach, I'm a speaker, I travel globally, I coach women, I help people write their stories. And I'm walking in purpose, divine purpose. And then October this year, I get to share the same stage with Lisa Nichols. Now, for those of us who know the book, The Secret, I'm hosting Lisa Nichols here in London in October. So what my journey has helped me to do is to impact people globally through my events, my coaching, my speaking, and my training. But it aligned me with amazing women like yourself and your listeners. And for me, all of that happened because I struggled. And I learned the lessons in my struggle to understand that I was being prepared for a time as this to walk side by side with women such as yourself and impact lives, because you're impacting, Marina, by bringing me to your audience, that you're changing lives. And that's one of the things that we have to learn out of our struggles is, what is it teaching you?
Wow.
know, that was a mouthful, right? I know.
Oh my God. Is an upgrade. I think in my own experience, and I'm saying this as humbly as I could, so our listeners understand this clearly. Each challenge is nothing but the next big thing, is nothing but the biggest opportunity you could become. Because people are chasing opportunities and they're wasting so much energy, and it's almost like, oh, I miss this, why this is happening to me, other people are better. And this is the truth. The truth is that you have to stop chasing opportunities, and you have to become the opportunity you seek. Because unless you find that power within yourself, unless you upgrade your challenge to opportunity through the struggles, each struggle is an upgrade of you as a humankind. And most people, and I used to be one of these people, that's why I know so well, are going to think, oh, it's too painful. But guess what? It's growing. It's you growing your own wings. So tell me now, because I have so many questions here and I'm thinking, which one shall I pick? But I'm going to pick one that I feel a personal interest in. Why the Mongo Girl?
Wow. I tell you why the Mango Girl. The Mango Girl, because I have a book on Amazon called Bamboo and Fern. And when I was featured in the Financial Times, it was the book that came out, The Guardian, and I was flown abroad for television, etc. And then when so check this out, Marina, and you're the same. I can tell the alignment. I have come to learn the power of visualization. Okay. So I wrote a book called, it was a blog challenge. I was doing a blog challenge for 30 days, the beginning of January 2015. And I thought, I'm going to turn this blog challenge into a book. So I wrote the book. I only printed 50 copies. Only 50 copies are available. It's online in an audio form, but physically only 50 copies. And in that book, I placed an advert, just visualizing. Anybody is interested in becoming a sponsor for my film, one day my life would be a movie. I was just speaking it into being, I guess. And so fast forward 2016, God placed me with those people. You see, aligning yourself with the right people. So I got aligned to some Hollywood people and some people. And before you know it, I was asked to write the script. I wrote the script with another friend of mine. And then before you know it, I just got connected. It's like domino effect. Bam, 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 bam. I was connected with the right people. And so I visualized, I aligned myself, and I pulled myself into the place where the script was written. And then somebody said to me, Ava, come on, what are you going to call it? And I thought, what is going to be a cinematic name? What name? It couldn't be Bamboo and Fern. And so I thought about all the things I'd gone through. What have I done? And then I thought, you know what? It's going to be called The Mango Girl. Cinematically, that's going to be a better story. And so that's how The Mango Girl came about, because I sold mangoes on the train. It was something I did. It was part of my life. I was a mango gal. They used to call me Mango Gal. And that's in Jamaica, gal means girl. And I thought, why not? Here's the thing, Marina. Listeners, listen to me. When you're already in pain, when you've already suffered, why not turn that pain into profit? Why not recycle the pain? So I had already suffered being taunted and teased and bullied as the Mango Girl. So I thought, well, I've already suffered. Why not recycle this pain into profit? And so hence the Mango Girl. I hope you like it.
I absolutely love you, and I love your book, and I love your movie, and I think embracing your truth is what sets you free.
Yes.
I think that nothing ever will be more powerful than turning something that was hitting you into a song, because this is the thing. Music hits you, but when music hits you, it doesn't hurt. It's the only thing that doesn't hurt when it hits you as hard as possible. So your movie is a song to my ears, is a song to my heart, because I know it's coming from the most beautiful heart the most beautiful song you ever sang before. And you know, I think our listeners will start voting to nominate your book for the Authors Awards. I emailed everyone. So the Authors Award is happening on the 28th, 29th of this month.
Oh, I hope.
And
do you know what, Marina? Somebody.
Please email us, please, because it's somebody here who deserves to be on the red carpet. And you know what? You deserve to be on the red carpet. Join us on the red carpet, because I want you to help me. I want you to help me to sprinkle the stardust each one of our listeners holds inside, and they don't know what to do with it. Some, they don't even know they have it, but the people who already know they have it, they don't know what to do about themselves, about their own stardust. So it is a stardust celebration. The first day is the experience of stardust, or when all the authors are going to receive their well-deserved awards. And the second day is the Stardust workshop, where people are going to learn how to bring out and about their own stardust.
Oh, I'd love, you know what? I'd love if can you guys vote for me, please? Because guess what? Somebody inboxed me this morning and said, Ava, why are you not a part of this award? Somebody actually inboxed me and said, Ava, I don't see your name there. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, the Authors Award, you should be there. And I was like, I don't know. So I thought, let me reach out. And I reached out to you, and I was like, you know, this is who I am. And she's like, Ava, you should be there. You are a great author. Your books are impacting lives. Why are you not there? So if you need to vote for me, whatever you need to do to get me there, please get me there. I would really love to be considered. I'm asking nicely, and I hope that I end up at the Authors Award.
So actually, that is going to be just the beginning. So there are a lot of celebrations coming, and in October, first week in October, we are going to have a massive celebration in London. Last year we celebrated the Radio Works World show hosts, and we had a great experience, a Stardust experience. But this year we want to have 1,500 people.
Wow.
So surely the Authors Awards, the Stardust Authors Awards, is just the beginning of a journey. Because what is the worst that could happen when you join the stars? You know better than me.
Yeah.
Tell our listeners what is possible for them.
Oh my God, when you join the stars, it's like you're in a magical place, because suddenly you're first of all, your Rolodex changed. You know, I was talking about your Rolodex this morning, and how when you are aligned with the right people, when you're rubbing shoulders with the right people, even if you're not winning an award, please come out, because you never, Marina, I did a Facebook Live about this, talking about my event in May, a Purpose Walk, that you don't know who you're going to meet when you go to these places. And sitting behind your computer is not healthy. You need to get out every now and then and celebrate and hang out and network. When you join these places, you get invitations to places you never think of. You get stuff free sent in the mail. I get free stuff every week in the mail. But also you get credibility, you get visibility, you become impactful, you have influence, and your income increases. And so that's what happens when you start hanging with the stars, and you become a star yourself. So understand that impact, influence, and affluence and income comes from hanging with the stars.
Wow. You know, I could only add that this is almost like reading my mind, and our listeners perhaps are taking notes, and we're going to send them an email with all the details about your email. But, you know, just joining the stars is not on its own. It is a concept that allows you to take something with you when you leave the room and you feel the stardust. You go home with something that nobody could take away from you. So being with the stardust is almost a moral duty toward yourself. Mm-hmm. Because being seen with the stardust is great, but feeling the stardust is what I want people to experience. So it's not really about me and you, because we experienced that already, but it's about helping people to see themselves for who they truly are. From both of us, until next time, and I surely pray it's going to be a next time, from both of us, embrace your truth. Goodbye.
Goodbye.